Wow. Okay. Well, what a shame. It it was good for a bit, wasn't it? It was fun. And then it went basically from SmackDown booking to Raw booking. That's basically what Hell in a Cell was. It's a shame because I feel like last year they broke the curse. Last year's Hell in a Cell show was quite good, I thought. It wasn't amazing, but I thought it was passable. This one? The last two matches. Frustrating so many. Let's get into it. How's everybody doing? It's your boy here, Apollo from Down Down Up Up. We're obviously here to do our results and review video. Talk Apollo talk for Hell in a Cell 2021. What went down last night? I guess I'm just not looking forward to diving into the end so much, but we're going to start on good notes. Kickoff, for example, the usual hour of spiel plus actually a decent match, in my opinion, between Mandy Rose and Natalya. Probably one of Mandy Rose's best WWE matches to date. I'm being dead serious. If you actually watched it, it was a good wrestling match. And in the end, Natalya won with the sharpshooter. Only problem is, it's a singles match in people that are involved in a current tag team feud. Makes zero sense. Has no reward whatsoever out of it. But it was good wrestling. So, I would take that. Onto the main card. We started with Bianca Belair and Bayley in the Hell in the Cell for the SmackDown Women's Championship, currently held by Belair. I was a bit skeptical at first because in my head, this doesn't need Hell in a Cell. And it didn't. But it was good. Those two had a fun match. They used whatever they felt like. I like that Bayley made up for last year's nonsense with the duct tape kendo sticks. And did a better spot with them this year. So bravo to her and attention to detail. Bianca brought it quite well. Adapted quite well. I actually would have preferred more used in this match, but the finish is what rode it home. It was your more average Hell in a Cell match until that finish. Bianca getting the KOD on Bayley on a ladder set up basically to climb, but laid on the ground. Picture it. Look it up if you haven't seen it. It was not a fun landing for Bayley, but a 1-2-3. Bianca Belair still the SmackDown Women's Champion. I feel like it was the right call. They could have had Bayley steal it here, but if she's going to steal it, maybe Money in the Bank would be the show to do it then, because this is Bianca's defining win over Bayley, and props to the noob getting the win in Hell in a Cell. And that's not the only time we say that in this video, but that's not a bad thing. It's just when we get there. Oh, we'll have to talk about it. But opening match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, fun Hell in a Cell match. Nothing really against it. Didn't need to be in the cell, but that doesn't mean it was bad. Let's keep things moving. Next up, we had Rollins, Cesaro. WrestleMania rematch of sorts. Wasn't quite as good as Mania, but I guess that was sort of the expectation. It got fun once we got near the finish, though. Cesaro just going submission crazy. We got sharpshooters, crossfaces, into more sharpshooters. But then, getting ready for another swing, Rollins took advantage with the small package, 1-2-3. Surprisingly, a clean win. Cheeky, no doubt, but Seth Rollins pulls it out, gets the W, and a little bit of stock for the man moving forward on SmackDown. We'll see what's left of Cesaro's push. I can't say I'm surprised he took the L here. I'm hoping these two continue, though, and maybe are both added to the Money in the Bank ladder match. However the setup is going to be for that this year, not sure. So, we'll see when we get there. But fun stuff. Fun stuff. Didn't hate it. Didn't hate it. Fun match. And then we had Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler. And oh my goodness, I've just had enough of this in its entirety. Bliss used her new random, I guess, hypnotism on Nia by just looking in her eyes. And Nia copied her movements, which basically meant smacking Reginald aside, screaming with Alexa, which was a hilarious image, to be fair. And then Shayna tried to take advantage with the clutch, the Kirifuda clutch, to be more specific. Bliss got out of it, and one twisted Bliss later. 1-2-3. Alexa Bliss won. I agree with the result, but oh my goodness, you got to do better than that. That's all I can really say. I'm not looking forward as much to when fans come back if this hasn't been improved, but we'll see what we get. it's nothing to be that concerned about. It's just, I couldn't give much of a care. Doesn't mean it's bad so much as I don't care that much. But let's move on to, actually, I don't know if this is going to surprise some of you out there, knowing me and my fan of wrestling. But we're going to move on to match of the night for me. Yes, I mean it. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Now, that may not sound like a surprise when you put those names together that, oh, of course it's match of the night. This was different. I've never seen Kevin Owens in a position like this against Sami Zayn. This was very similar-esque to their first match in WWE back in NXT when Kevin won the NXT Championship from Sami via referee stoppage. This felt like on the same level because I didn't think Kevin would be bringing in more than just a small throat injury, but he's selling the shoulder, he's selling the ribs. Sami Zayn is on him like a dog when he gets an opportunity. And just the back and forth and teasing made this a fun match to watch and wonder how things are going to work out. And Kevin got the stunner, to be fair. On the outside, almost stole it by count out, but the injuries caught up to him. Luva kick later, 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn gets a pay-per-view win. I love it. I wasn't expecting it. That's the first one I called wrong on the show. I was just thinking in my head, Kevin's just being downplayed in every title feud, but he gets another pay-per-view win over Sami, just like WrestleMania, for instance. Didn't happen here. They gave it to Zayn. This has been fun. In terms of story and wrestling, this is up there with their WrestleMania match. I actually am not sure which one I prefer better. It was just done so well, and I wasn't expecting it. Fun stuff, and good job, Sami Zayn. I'm looking forward to seeing where that's going. And unfortunately, there goes my high for the show, because now we get into the next two matches. First off, it's the Raw Women's Championship match between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. And to be fair, the match itself was actually good. And then the finish happened, basically. They teased some stuff. I mean, Rhea got riptide, but Charlotte got the foot in the rope, and then Charlotte got in the figure 4. Could not quite transition into the figure 8 because Rhea got to the ropes and then pulled herself out of the ring. And then all of a sudden, Rhea just hit Charlotte with the table covering, and it was a disqualification. Charlotte won, and Rhea retained the title. And Charlotte just basically yelled at her, "You're learning," as she's leaving with the belt. And, oh, come on. Come on. Maybe we shouldn't be that surprised. Raw is just... Who hired these bookers? Honestly. Who hired them? Because that was a crap finish on a pay-per-view that was actually holding itself quite well up until that point. It's obviously going to continue, and I was expecting it to anyway, but I thought Rhea could at least get the win here, maybe via shenanigan, not lose intentionally via disqualification to Charlotte Flair. I don't want this feud to just be all about turning Rhea Ripley into the next Charlotte Flair. That's atrocious. Rhea Ripley is well established at this point as being wonderful as who she is, and Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair. We don't need another one right now. She crushes it in the ring. I'm not going to put her down, but that was a crap finish, and that's not the only one we have to talk about. Hell in a Cell, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre. Biggest risk I took the whole show, thinking maybe we're going to get a new WWE champion. Maybe the Brock Lesnar rumors are going to be false about him coming back before SummerSlam. And to be fair, we don't know that yet. Their Hell in a Cell match, it was as simple as I thought it was going to be. They didn't leave Hell in a Cell, and there was a ref bump at one point. Drew gets the Claymore kick, and once a new referee gets in the count, MVP gets in the cell and pulls him out. That I didn't have a problem with. That was fine. And then Drew attacked him, but didn't throw him out, so MVP was still in there, and then some good table spots. Some freaking vicious kendo stick shots. Did you see Drew's back after the match? That was nasty. That was nasty, man. And then Drew went for another Claymore. MVP got up and grabbed Drew's leg. And then Bobby Lashley, what do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to hit the spear? Maybe right into the hurt lock. No, he rolled him up and held the tights and got the 3 count to retain the WWE Championship in the main event of Hell in a Cell. Oh, really? That's how we're going to have the Almighty retain the championship. See, I've had time to look at this. I was actually like laughing and feeling good about the show at the end, but now that about more than 12 hours has passed, I I really don't know what to say. The almighty WWE champion, a man who we have seen beat Drew McIntyre with the Hurt Lock at WrestleMania. So they're not afraid to do it. We've now seen him resort to pitting Drew with the roll-up, holding the tights in Hell in a Cell after a distraction. That's not good, WWE. That's really not good. That's not how you build the almighty WWE champion. Because now all that's telling me is I'm trying to think of the right word, his finesse, his appearance has been completely shattered and is losing that WWE championship at the latest SummerSlam. I don't know what to say. I'm so disappointed. I really thought that if Lashley were to win, he would win with his own power. At the most, we'd get one MVP distraction, like earlier in the match when he threw in his cane to help Bobby Lashley. That's the most. That's the most that he should have done. But then getting in the cell to break up a pin, that was also a bit much, because at this point, I can see Lashley kicking out of a Claymore kick and then helping Bobby so he could roll him up to end a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view inside a Hell in a Cell with a cheeky roll-up holding the tights. I don't know. If this is Drew's last shot, that goes out bad. Really bad. And it's not like it's the first time WWE have thrown shade at a last ever chance at a championship. Because when Batista had his last chance against Edge in 2007, he lost by countout. And it was really pathetic, even though I was a big fan of the creative finish. If you haven't seen it, it's Edge, Batista, Vengeance, Night of Champions 2007. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I laughed at it originally, but like when I think about it, that was so brilliantly done. This, though, not so much. We'll see what we get next. Overall, Hell in a Cell suffers from the curse that's really been hitting it most lately, if you exclude last year. It just can't end on like the greatest of notes for everybody. But that's WWE, and life goes on. So there's my thoughts on it. Thanks guys so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I will see you all in another video. Check out my scratch tickets for this week if you're a fan of the Scratch Off series. We got a nice winner coming tomorrow on a new ticket. I'm not going to lie. That was a nice surprise to start with. Fun stuff. See you guys for that. Have a lovely rest of your day. I'll catch you later. Keep it real.